This video is brought to you by
Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you're in town, pull up on us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you're not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For most people, they have to wake up majority of their days, go to work, and make a living. That's just the way of life. If you don't work, then you don't eat. Of course, it's shortcuts out here like the street life, but if you don't want to throw rocks at the pen and worry about what's for feed up every night, it's best to just grind at your job, stay free until you can figure out something else. A lot of us have big dreams. For most, they don't want to punch a clock every day. They would rather be entrepreneurs, work for themselves, and be successful. But in reality, in this world we live in, you need money every single day to survive. So we all have been in a position where we might have been at a job we hate or wish we could just quit, just to maintain and make sure we can live out here. The good thing about being a working man or woman though, you don't have to look over your shoulders. You are making an honest living and you are out the way. But even when you are doing something productive like working, when you have to deal with other people, you just never know how the day will play out. If you ever work somewhere where you not only have to deal with your coworkers, but customers as well, then you understand how annoying, demanding, and frustrating people can be. You are at the mercy of the customers and however they feel. For the most part, you can ignore somebody that's angry and having a bad day. They just want to spread that negative energy around. But we never expect to go to work and end up sitting in the jail cell after our shift. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a case of how a regular day at work ended with a man being Baltimore's most wanted. For the great people of Baltimore, Maryland, we always had a bad rep for being a drug-infested city full of poverty and low education. But the reality is, we are just like any other city in America. People trying to survive the best way they know how. We have entrepreneurs and a strong working class that gets up every day and punch the clock so they won't have to play them cruddy streets. Back in May of this year, that was the case for 39-year-old Braxton Day. Braxton, like many of us that grew up off survival, had a few run-ins with police and a criminal record. But he was trying hard to be a legit working man now and do what he had to do to stay afloat. He had a job and worked at the Family Dollar in the 600 block of Cherry Hill Road in South Baltimore. He got up daily, punched the clock, and dealt with customers. Some good, some bad, but it was a paycheck. On the morning of May 31st of this year, it was a normal work day for Braxton. He woke up and headed to the store when somewhere in the mix, a 42-year-old man named Brian Braylon, for whatever reason, had a problem with Braxton and was trying to fight him outside of the store. As the two men went back and forth, the argument escalated, and seconds later, shots went off, and witnesses in the shopping center called police. BPD responded to the scene to find Brian suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. He was rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, he would pass away from his injuries. On the scene was 40 caliber shell casings and a clip with 3 rounds left in it. As homicide detectives arrived, They knew cameras from the store and others would be their best lead to piece together exactly what happened. As they got the footage, it showed the man who seemed to be an employee at the store get confronted by Brian, who was allegedly the aggressor. As the two men went back and forth, the Family Dollar worker shot the man, took off on feet, threw the gun under a car, and took off his jacket and bag. He then ran to a nearby neighborhood behind the store on Hillview Road. Police went to the home. Inside the bag, they found another clip with 28 rounds in it and a Family Dollar name tag. When they took it back to the store, other employees stated the badge belonged to Braxton, but the man was MIA, now wanted for a homicide. His face was all over the news as he was now on the Maryland's most wanted list. They brought up his previous cases and stated he could be armed and dangerous, even though it was clear he wasn't the aggressor. Many of his co-workers stated he usually came to work with a good attitude, stayed to himself, and got along with everybody. Nobody knew the reason for the altercation. But as days went by, Braxton was still nowhere to be found until he saw himself on the news and realized he was a wanted man. So he decided to walk himself into a police station and self-surrender. He was charged with first degree and second degree hit, also firearm violations, even though it was proven he wasn't the aggressor. Maryland has a strict self-defense law. While you can defend yourself from the threat of immediate bodily harm or death, it has to be proven that the force was necessary or that you were in danger to the point you couldn't retreat. The thing that might hurt Braxton though is the fact he was a convicted felon and was in possession of a firearm. But as of now, this is a new case. It hasn't made its way to trial yet, and he is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to Brian. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I don't know what the beef was about or what his issue was with Braxton, but one rule I learned: when you confront somebody or decide you want to take it down and engage, you never know how the next person will respond. So you got to be ready for whatever the outcome will be. You can never underestimate nobody and think, oh yeah, yo quiet, he's scared, or he don't want no trouble. Just because people might not want no trouble doesn't mean they won't defend themselves, especially if you are trying to bring harm their way. But it's crazy to go to work and end up fighting a murder charge. I don't think nobody ever expects that. But I want to leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Yeah, man, that's a crazy story. Rest in peace, that man that lost his life. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Be sure to tap that like button. This another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. I'm out.